What's happening, everybody? Bob Wankel, crossingbroad.com. We have the Colts and Jags from Lucas Oil Stadium on Sunday afternoon. Colts trying to put a stop to their two-game losing streak. Lost as a double-digit favorite last week to the Miami Dolphins. Who's going to win this time around? Who's going to cover the spread? We'll get to that in just a minute. But before we do, I want to let everybody know you can head over to crossingbroad.com/DK. Download DraftKings Sportsbook. They will match your first bet up to $200. That's good in the state of Indiana, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and New Jersey.
You can make it rain.
All right, before we get into our odds, some betting trends, and picks, let's first take a look at some stats that we need to know. It starts with the London curse, okay? We had Jacksonville across the pond in their last game. Just know that NFL teams that played their previous game in London are 0-6 this season. That does not bode well for the Jags in this one. What does, though, however, Jacksonville is 7-0-1 ATS against Indy since the start of the 2015 season. And, of course, the main storyline, Jacoby Brissett will be back for Indy in this game. Likely he practiced as a full participant on Wednesday, but it's the return of Nick Foles. He makes his first start since week 1. Something to know about Nick Foles, who excelled in the Eagles Super Bowl run as an underdog 2 years ago. Though he's 5-0 against the spread as an underdog in the postseason, only 7-12 ATS during the regular season as an underdog. All right, let's take a look at the odds for this game. Jacksonville currently a 3-point underdog, plus 134 on the money line, total set at 44. You can grab the Colts on the money line to win outright at minus 154. These odds are courtesy of FanDuel Sportsbook as we sit here in the middle of the week. Some betting trends that we want to look at ahead of this one. Colts, like we said at the top, lost last week, double-digit home favorite to the Miami Dolphins. You should know that the Colts are 4-0-1 ATS when favored by 3 points or less under Frank Reich, 5-2-1 ATS in division games under Reich. So that bodes well for Indy in this game. Also know that AFC South home favorites of 3 points or less are 17-12-3 ATS and 12-5-1 against the spread in the month of November or later. So that looks good for the Colts. But home teams favored by 3 points or less that are coming off of a loss as a favorite in their previous game, not so good. Only 38-52-9 against the spread, and that is in division games. AFC road underdogs, and this is one on the Jags here. AFC road underdogs of 3 points or less that are coming off of a loss are 61-46-7 against the spread in division games. So that bodes well for Jacksonville. Now, in terms of the total, the under has hit in 4 of the last 5 games between these two teams and in 7 of the last 8 played in Indianapolis. You can probably guess where we're going here. The under is 86, 56, and 6 in division games with a total set between 43 and 45 points that are played in week 11 or later. And it's 21-7 when both teams went under in their previous game. Indy did and Jacksonville did. So that trend applies. 21-7. That's a 75% cover rate. And finally, the under is 15-9 in AFC South games played in November or later between two teams coming off of an under, and 27-19 in AFC South games played in the month of November or later when the Dome is closed. That applies obviously with the Texans and with the Colts in these South games. So we obviously are all over the under. In terms of the game, I think that Jacksonville, they struggle to score. They're not a high offensive output team. You have Nick Foles coming back. We love Nick Foles here, especially in the Philly area, but I do wonder if there's going to be some rust that he's going to need to shake. Colts are coming off of a completely embarrassing loss a week ago to the Dolphins. They're a good team. They're a well-coached team, not a very highly penalized team. I think that they bounce back. Frank Reich rights the ship this week, and we will take the Colts. But there are some other recommended bets that we have. Again, in addition to the Colts -3 at plus 100 over at Fox Bet, you can check out Fox Bet's offers at crossingbroad.com/FB. So you can head over to Fox Bet, grab the Colts if you're in PA. Under 44, you can grab that at FanDuel. That's the best line right now on the under. You can get that at crossingbroad.com/FD if you're in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, or in Indianapolis if you're a Colts fan watching this locally. And we also like the Colts, maybe not to blow out Jacksonville though, Colts to win by 1 to 13 points. You can grab that over at FanDuel, and that is going to be a plus 145 payout, so you can add a little bit of value to your Colts play in a more close contest. So those are our recommendations bets. Again, if you want to bet on this game, you're in the state of Indiana, West Virginia, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, head over to crossingbroad.com/DK. Download DraftKings Sportsbook. They'll give you a $200 first bet match.